Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Happy Sunday. How's everybody's day been? Mine has been very productive. I started writing book 3 in the Guardians of the Six Gate series last Sunday. So it's officially a week since I have started. This is the final book in that series. It is a trilogy. So it's the last book. And I am super far into it. So I did a lot of writing today. I started today at just a little over 6,000 words, and I am currently at 7,558. So I have been making good progress, and I am super excited to sit down with all of you and make even more progress. So we got Jen here. Hello, Jen. All right. What are you working on tonight? I know that you're also drafting a book, aren't you? Or are you editing it? You might be editing. But everyone in the comments, let me know, what are you working on? I am going to continue working on book 3. I brought tea with me. Do you guys have any beverages that you are sipping on while we work tonight? Mm. Woo. Tonight is a chamomile tea night. Jen says, I am working on a second story edits tonight, draft 4. Woo! You are getting really close to publication, or at least like putting it all together to be ready for publication. Are you going to format in Word, or are you going to hire that out? I use Vellum. There is quite a price tag with that up front, but then you own it. So you can use the software over and over and over. So it was well worth it to me. But I know that some people really like to do all of their formatting and everything in Words. They have a couple more options of fonts and such. Project Luck is going to be put to the side until I get a second story done, I think. I completely understand. Sometimes that was something that I was worried about with starting book 3. I originally planned to do it for NaNoWriMo, and I was mostly ready for that, but there were some things I wanted to get in order with book 2 before I jumped into book 3. So I kind of delayed it a little bit. So that way it made writing it a whole lot easier. Yes. So it is coming up super soon for you. So if those of you watching don't know, Jen, her book A Second Story is coming out May 11th. So be on the lookout for it. Go follow her on YouTube and everywhere else. Her stuff is amazing. And I'm so excited for that book. I think I'm going to try InDesign. Ooh, I don't know that one. Just a month subscription or something, because I can't justify the 300 plus for Vellum. Yes, Vellum is quite pricey. I was able to cut the cost a little bit because it was a Christmas gift, or part of my Christmas gift anyway. And so I was able to split the cost a little bit. And so since I went ahead and paid for it, I don't have to repay for anything. That was super nice. But that's kind of how I got around that price tag. 9 weeks. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, my book's not a whole lot further behind you. So, Shade of the Shadowlands is book 2 in the Guardians of the Six Gate series, and it comes out May 30th. Right now, it is with my editor for professional edits. She'll finish it this month, and my cover designer starts at the end of this month into next month. So, in between that time, I'm going to do a round of heavy edits again, finalize all of the book, and then I'm going to do the interior so that I can give my cover designer a more solid page count so she can get the paperback copy exactly where it needs to be. So yes, I'm not that much further behind you. And now that you said 9 weeks, holy moly, I have a lot to do. I have quite the to-do list. Okay. I am still a little bit blown away by how quickly I am moving through this draft. It's coming together super quick. What I'm really loving about book 3 that I did not get with book 1 and 2 in the series is that book 3 is where things start to get steamier. It's where the romance really comes to a head. I know that some of my readers have noted that they were frustrated, kind of in a good way. They were frustrated that it's such a slow burn. They wanted to see those like moments of tension come through, and they don't fully. And they definitely don't in book 1. They start to in book 2. There are some pretty good scenes in there. I'm super excited for you guys to read. And then book 3 is where everything, of course, gets more intense because it's the finale of the whole series. So fun. Really excited for this draft. Oh my gosh. I am going to move towards, I probably can hit 8,000 words tonight. That's wild because I was at 6,000. Gosh, that would be wild. 6,000 this morning. So exciting. Look at us go. Yes. Man, I am proud of us. It takes a lot of work to self-publish a book, especially because you have to hire out the team yourself. There's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of work in publishing a book, period. But I'm super excited for the both of us. I love, I'm assuming you mean slow burn. Love slow burn. Just builds better. I am a sucker for that kind of romantic tension. I want all of the details. What comes to mind for me is Bridgerton. There is that scene where they do like the almost touch, and they had already built it up to be so tense, and it was the moment you thought was coming, and then it just fell flat. And I live for that. I love that. Those details are fun, especially to write. They're fun to write. Okay, we are approaching the 10-minute mark. Yes, tension, yes. Hell yeah. Okay, we're moving on to the 10-minute mark. It sounds like all of us are writing on current projects or editing for publication. I am excited for all of us. I think that we should move into our first sprint of the night. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you're not subscribed, hit that right now since you have YouTube open. Also, go ahead and like the video while you're here. We are going to do a 20-minute share screen. We're going to do a 20-minute sprint as always. I need that one. Aha. There we go. Now we have it up. Perfect. So we'll do 20 minutes for the first sprint. I am currently sitting at, let me write this down because it's kind of fun to gauge it as I go. Do you guys keep track of exactly how much you've written per sprint, or do you guys just do all the sprints and see where you end up? It kind of depends for me. So I am at 7,558. Woo! Let's see where we end up. All right. So we're going to put 20 minutes on the clock, and I will see you guys after this first sprint. Best of luck. Go! All right. How did everybody do? Ooh, I need to tally up my count. Holy moly. So I did quite a bit in this sprint. So let me count that up. I'm at the end of the scene. I have one last, really just a couple lines to finish. It's one piece of dialogue, but I want it to be like chef's kiss. So, and then I'll be done with this chapter. So I'm on chapter 2. I need to go back through and kind of see exactly how long chapter 2 is because I'm a little worried chapter 2 is too long, but we'll see. So let's see. I am at, I'm almost at 800 words. Oh, I'm like right there. Man, almost made it. I'll make it in the next one. So 7. I'm not good at math. Nobody make fun of me, please. So 431 words for sprint number 1. So pretty good. How's everybody else doing? Jen said she got through a chapter and a half of edits. Whoa, a chapter and a half. That's pretty good. Normally I can move maybe like a chapter at a time, but not chapter and a half. Wow. I am doing a quicker pass to implement my editor's edits in and also do an edit myself, mainly based on readability. I gotcha. So it does make it quicker. I always move through edits quicker after it's been to my professional editor. So I cannot wait to get to that stage. I'm still playing with the idea of adding in some of the scenes that I wrote and created, but I kind of want to see what her feedback is before I do that. I do think that they would add like quite a bit of character development and some fun things to the book, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. Ooh, the last line I read. You become rather skilled at reading people, doing what I do. She answered with a wink. I'll bring out those right away. Ooh, I like the little coy wink in there. See, that's what I'm trying to do with this last line for the chapter I've been writing. I'm trying to give like one of the, like a, man, I just like blush worthy lines. I want one of those. So I cannot wait to get back in and write that in. So I'm sitting at 7,989 words right now. Whew, loving it. Loving it. I'm really enjoying this book. I think that especially if you like your fantasy with a little bit of romance, I think this book is going to be people's favorites out of the series as typically a series goes. A lot of times that last book is the one people like the most or the one they remember at least the most. So I think this will definitely be one of those books. My gosh, I'm so excited. Over the weekend, I've written quite a bit. I started off Saturday at 2,961 words, and now I'm sitting at about almost 8,000. So, wow, I am excited. Jen says, amazing. Thank you. Jen, I cannot wait to read a second story. It sounds so cute. I am on chapter 2 of part 2, which is chapter 10 in total. Had to count. I don't have them numbered. You, I think, talked about in your stream this weekend that you might leave out the numbers and just go with like the chapter titles. Is that what you're still thinking? I've read a couple different books that way, and I kind of like when the chapter title hints at what that chapter's about. I think that's because right now I'm almost done finishing all of Percy Jackson. And if you've ever read those, I know you have, Jen, all of the chapter titles are kind of funny. They're like hooks in themselves. So I think that especially if your book leans more, maybe not necessarily on the humorous side, but maybe even just adventurous, I think that chapter titles like that are kind of fun. I'm hoping that kind of want those to come back in more mainstream books. I would love for that to come back around more as a theme. Thank you. Making me blush. Ooh. I don't know. I'll have to see how things work out with formatting. I think it would work formatting wise in your parts and everything. I think it could fit. I mean, I haven't read all of your book, but I could see how it would work. This chapter is called May's Cafe. Ooh. I like the name May. That's a fun one. I always thought that if we got another dog, we would name it May, so we'd have May and June. June is not in here with me tonight, at least not yet. Usually, if she doesn't start in with me during the stream, at some point she like ends up in here. Usually because she sits outside of the door, and if Alex notices she sits outside of the door, he lets her in. So she'll probably come in maybe another 20. Okay. It is 8:56. I'm not sure that I can stand it any longer. I kind of feel like I just need to dive back into this book. Oh my gosh. So I think we're going to move on to the second sprint. We'll do another 20 minutes. Make sure that you've liked the stream. If you didn't in the first time around, let me know in the comments, what are you reading right now? I just said I'm finishing up Percy Jackson, and then I'm going to move on to Sarah Sutton's new book, Rebelling with a Bad Boy. So it kind of fits really well because I've got a little bit of that kind of vibe going on with Jamie Quinn, who is one of the main characters in Guardians of the Sixth Gate. He's not exactly like a bad boy type, but he's just like the brooding, angsty teen type. So he's not like he's not a rebel per se. He's just kind of a dark, mysterious type. But I have some of the same vibes going, so I'm super excited to read that book. This is the newest one. I've read everything up to this point. So cannot wait to get started on that. I have not started my next audiobook. What is that one? I just put it on my list. The Serpent and the Wings of Night. That's my next audiobook. Some of my friends have been telling me that I have to read it immediately, so I moved it up in the list and I'm going to get to it quicker as an audiobook. So excited for that one. I don't really know a lot about it, but when I read the description, it did sound like something that I would normally read. So I am excited for it. Jen is currently reading Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson, about 65% of the way through the, oh my gosh, 1,200 page. That is a long book. Yes. I've never read anything by Brandon Sanderson, even though I know that I would love it. It all just seems so long. And so I haven't devoted the time to just like go in. I'll get to him eventually. He's one of those authors that is on my TBR all the time, and I just haven't sat down to do it. I just don't know where exactly to start. So, what book should I start with, Jen? I know you've read quite a bit of Brandon Sanderson. Where should I start? What's your favorite? All right. On that note, let's go ahead and we will jump into sprint number 2. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. Keep sending me what you're reading. Jen said probably Mistborn. That's where I should start with Brandon Sanderson. Okay. I think you told, now that I'm thinking about it, I think you've told me that before. I could be wrong, but I think you've already told me that. So we're gonna move on with sprint number 2. So another 20 minutes. I am currently at 7,989 words. I wrote it down, and we shall see where we end up. So here we go. Hopefully we all get a lot done. Sprint All right. How did everybody do? Hopefully it was productive. Tyler S. stopped by. Just wanted to mention that for the playback because I don't know that Tyler's still here. But thank you for popping in, Tyler. It was great to see and but hear from you again. I think you've been in all 3 of my last streams, so thank you for that so much. This time around, I had to pull out the planner, the author planners where I have the most recent version of Shade of the Shadowlands, and I had to check some details for continuity's sake, so that slowed me up a little bit in the second sprint, but I was able to get all those details. So I should fly through the third one. So let's see. I am at 8,000. Oh gosh, 283 words. Pretty good. So I am fully into that 8,000 word threshold, which I was excited to get through this afternoon when I realized how close I was. So I wrote 294 words in sprint number 2. So pretty pleased with that. Like I said, I was slowed up a little bit just because I had to make sure I was on the right track. So I wrote a little more than half of what I did with sprint 1, but moving pretty good. So Jen said, how did that sprint already end? Oh, I know. I wish that I could stay up a little bit later on Sunday nights. I've actually thought about maybe starting sooner. I'm not quite sure how early I could start. I don't know. Maybe I should just bite the bullet and stay up later on Sundays because I feel like I think that we would all get more done and the sprints would feel more productive if instead of going 20 minutes, we were going like 25 minutes. Or even 30 if we had the time. So I know. I also feel, yes, looked up at 3 seconds and was like, what? That's how I feel. I'm contemplating changing the time a little bit. I still think there'll be Sunday evenings, but I would love to get more time to write because there are some Sundays where I have stayed up another hour after our stream and I might as well have just been on the stream. I'm now into the 3rd chapter of the night. I slipped into my story so hard, I ended up adding a couple paragraphs into the scene that I'm in to round things out a bit more. Yes, I am also on to chapter 3. Super fun. I'm excited to see exactly how much I can get done tonight because the story is just flowing. Today has been a really good writing day. I haven't had a bad writing day since I've started this book, though. I've just been dying to write some of these scenes that I've planned out and get into a little bit more of the romance and the drama because it's heavy with drama in book 3. So I think I've just been really itching to write it. So now that I'm sitting down to write it, everything is just like exploding out of me. So super, super glad for that it doesn't feel like a struggle. I'm pretty good at fast drafting anymore, though. I've found that, at least for me, that trying to write a book in a month actually is a good exercise for me. I do a better job getting words on the page and not editing as I go. And because I try to write it all in a short amount of time, it actually ends up being easier to edit because I'm not spacing out so much. So I'm not forgetting anything. Everything's still fresh in my brain because I'm writing, all my sessions are so close together. And so there's not any time for me to lose steam. So the last 2 books I've written have all been with that kind of method. I've tried to write them all in a month. So that's kind of the plan for book 3. The plan is to try and write it all in March and be done by April so I can rest it for a lot of the spring before I come back around to it because I want to get this book out in the fall. Um, I had planned for a kind of a later fall release, but things are going so smoothly right now, and, I get so much extra time in the summers. I say extra time, I'm still working, but, my schedule shifts quite a bit, so I get extra time that I might be able to actually release this a month or 2 earlier than I had planned, which would actually be better, so we'll see. I'm gonna have a lot of editing things in the summer too, I already know that because of prepping for the fall, because 'cause I'm gonna have 2 books in the fall. But I would really like if book 3 could be an early release. So, that's pretty good for scheduling. Yes. Holy moly. I schedule and reschedule and reevaluate my schedule all the time. I'm constantly moving things around, and it's never, like, the week of, it's always, like, 2 weeks out. I adjust things in my schedule. So, if I could if I could if this If I could get this done by the end of March and have, like, a really nice draft, and I could actually get back to editing a little bit, I think I could have an early fall release. I really do. So, fingers crossed, everybody. But we'll have to see. The second book comes out May 30th, so that would mean that there would not be a ton of turnaround before book 3, which could be a good thing as far as, like, publishing strategy goes because everyone would be fresh off reading that book and they wouldn't have to wait as long. But sounds like an awful lot of work to me. So, uh, it is about 9:26. 9:26, and we're getting close to our final sprint of the night. Depending on how this one like, how this goes, where I stop with this one, I may stay up a little bit to finish writing. I mean, I'm feeling pretty energized. Um, that really depends, I think, on where I end up getting with this chapter. So, I'm getting close to a pretty good stopping point too. So, I might just be done for the night after our third sprint. So, we'll have to see. Hmm. So, let's go ahead, I think, and move towards our third sprint of the night. Is anyone listening to anything? Or do any of you have music going while you're writing tonight? I've been trying to keep some consistent vibes. So I always start a playlist for all of the books I'm writing. And for this one, it's a very short playlist right now. So it's really the same stuff on repeat, which is fine with me. It's keeping me chugging right along. So until I need some other music added in to get different vibes going, I'm living on what I got. Woo, third sprint. Heck yeah. It sounds like all of us have been really productive tonight. So I say let's go ahead and move into the third sprint. All right, 20 minutes on the clock. And I will see you guys in a little bit. Sprint. Okay. How'd everybody do? Let me count where I left off. Oh my gosh, I'm almost at 9,000 words, guys. 8,851. And I was moving. I could go a little while longer, and I might go just a tad longer to get to a good place. Holy crap. Where was I before? 568 words for that sprint. So I wrote the most on the third sprint, which was kind of what I anticipated. I was moving pretty dang quick. So that means, what is my grand total? I have written 1,293 words during the stream. So, pretty good. Overall, I've written a whole lot more than that. What am I at for today? 51. So today I have written 2,815. Woo! Pretty dang good. Yes. Once again, so fast. I totally agree. That stream went way too close or way too fast. So close to breaking 10K. Holy moly. I could not imagine writing 10K in a day. I've seen several YouTube videos where authors have done that. Sarah Sutton recently had a 10K day. Oh my gosh. If writing was my full-time job, I could imagine myself doing it, especially the way I have started to set up so much of the drafting phase of my process. I could probably do it, but I can't imagine, wow, how much time that is in a day to get to 10K. Holy crap. Jen is writing chapter 4 of The Night, which is in part 2. Wow. This has been super productive for, I think, all of us. I don't know about you guys. This has been my most productive day so far for writing book 3. I've only been writing it for a week. I started last Sunday. So moving right along. Alex, my husband Alex, he is gone the first part of this week for a work trip. So he'll be gone tomorrow. I think he gets back Tuesday. So I think I'll have a little bit more time tomorrow to write also. I don't typically write a lot when everyone is home. I try to spend family time. So I might get a little bit extra writing done this week than I usually do, which would be awesome. So digging that. Gosh, I've had one 10K day a few times. It's always near the end of the book when it's just bleeding out of me. Yes. Yes. Man. It's starting to dawn on me just how long I've been writing today. I've been doing it all in like big chunks. So I did a little bit this morning, while Finn was still kind of like getting up. And then I did a bit this afternoon during his nap. So, man, it's been a long day, long haul today. Woo. So, as much as I would love to stay up later, it is 9:53. I would love to stay up longer with you guys and do even just one more sprint, do a fourth one. But I know that if we did that, it would be quite a bit later before I actually wound down and got to bed. I am going to keep writing a little bit and get to kind of a stopping place, like a more natural stopping place. I'm going to write towards one. I have one in mind, but I think we are winding down from the night. I'm also starting to feel a little tired. Oh my gosh. Sprints are always good for productivity. Yes. It helps me keep focused. Maybe it's because I have ADHD. I don't know, but it helps me keep focused when I can do it in short bursts like that and know that I'll be able to release my brain and I can let it do all its craziness and multitask all at once afterwards. So sprints are amazing. Jen said, "This has been great as always. I'm always happy to have you guys along with me. These sprints are a really fun way to get work done and not feel so alone while you're at it, because writing can feel kind of lonely. That is a lonely life for some people. So I love doing these streams every week. And I am planning to do another one on Sunday. So we're going to continue this streak. I've made a really good streak. I think we're over a month in now where we haven't missed a Sunday. So that's exciting. So I think now is a pretty good place to leave us. So thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you guys next week, Sunday at 8:20. Bye.